Today I want to work with an older recipe that I had grown up with. Not quite as much of a family recipe as the beef stroganoff we made the other day, but my mom has been making these homemade chicken taquitos for years now. I don't really know where my mom got the recipe, but I can tell you that I got it from her, mainly because I wrote it down on one of these note cards and, that's really the only reason why I use these nowadays. Growing up, we were constantly running this way, that way between sports, schools, extracurriculars, you name it. So having these at home anytime in the freezer was really a game changer. You could just pop them in the oven for 15, 20 minutes, and you got a meal for you and your brothers or whoever else you're eating for. So enough babbling on at this point. I think it's about time for us to move on, don't you agree? So as the name suggests, we're going to be making a chicken filling for our taquitos. This being the case, you'll want to bring enough water to cover 3 chicken breasts to a boil. As you're doing this, make sure to add a few pinches of salt to the water. You don't need to go too overboard because the breasts will be sitting in the water for about 15 minutes or so, and they have plenty of time to soak up that salt. I'm going to be shooting for about 20 taquitos once all things are put together, some for me, some for my friends. While those chicken breasts are in their little saltwater jacuzzi, let's start out on the filling itself. For the cilantro, the first thing you'll want to do is separate the stems and get those out of here. We only really care about the leaves. From there, simply rock your knife back and forth, this way and that, until you're left with a relatively fine mince of the original plant. Next, you'll grab a mixing bowl, and for every set of 10 taquitos you'll make, you'll drop in 1 block of cream cheese, along with the following spices: 1 teaspoon of cumin, 1 teaspoon of onion powder, half a teaspoon of garlic powder, 1.5 teaspoons of chili powder, and finally, 2 tablespoons of lime juice. With all that in the bowl now, take a rubber spatula and mix thoroughly until combined. Now add in your cilantro and mix that in too. Next is the green chilies, which you'll need a can opener to get into. Wait, what the hell was that? So anyways, green chilies get added to the mix, and a few taps of black pepper, because I forgot it earlier, okay? Mixy that around and drop in about a cup of shredded cheese, Mexican blend, as well as 4 ounces of sliced jalapeno bits for extra spicy. One last mix and then we're heading over to the stovetop to pull out our boiling chickies from the pot. And be careful here when you're starting to shred, because these things will hold a whole lot of heat. To shred, you'll want to pull along the grain of the breast, using the prongs of the fork to separate the bits. Shred your breasts until you have about 3 shredded cups of chicken. Now in order to make your tortillas pliable, you'll want to drop them into the oven at 200 degrees Fahrenheit for just a few minutes. During that time, you'll mix in your 3 cups of shredded chicken and get ready to roll. Starting with your pile of warm tortillas, spoon in a sizable pile of your filling and spread throughout the center. Then, take one edge of the tortilla and pull it to the opposite end. When the 2 edges meet, you'll drag the top layer back towards you, making contact with the bottom the whole time. Then tuck it in over the edge and roll forwards. Let me give you another angle on this. As you drag and roll, you're working that filling into the proper cylindrical shape for the taquito. But once you have all of your taquitos all rolled up and finished, you have the option of eating now or freezing. If you're going the freezer route, you'll place your baking sheet directly into the freezer for about 30 minutes to allow these rolls to tense up some. After that, all you'll need to do is bag and tag them in individual portions for later use. These will last you between 2 to 6 months and are perfect for whenever you're running short on time and need something quick and easy to eat. But say you're hungry now. Well, the cooking instructions will be just about the same as when they're frozen. All you have to do is heat your oven to 425, grease a baking sheet, and drop your taquitos in seam side down. After about 12 to 15 minutes, they should be well heated throughout with a teensy bit of a crunch to the tortilla. Just look at this cross section. It's beautiful. I'd recommend serving with salsa and sour cream, but you really can't go wrong here. Just make sure to take a big ol' first bite.
Yup, that's really fucking good.
And if you think for some reason that I'm biased, they're a winner even when the roommates are pulled in as taste testers. And that's about it for today's creation. Make sure to like and subscribe if you want to follow along for more creations that are sure to please a crowd without breaking your budget. And try these taquitos out because it'll for sure be nice having them on hand when you don't have the time to cook a full meal. If you have any suggestions for future episodes, leave it below in the comments section. Thanks for watching, guys.